Well, that was definitely an interesting one, huh?
Why couldn't they just give us the whole opening?
No.
just
They never. No.
it was like a minute and 30 seconds.
Oh, it's like a minute and a half. It's such a teaser.
How long do you think the actual
opening?
Yeah, it's gonna be like 3 minutes long.
Oh,
4 minutes long.
Oh, the actual song.
I mean, well, the opening, I guess.
The opening, dude, they do long fucking.
They do.
Dude, if every other Kingdom Hearts is any fucking notion to go by, it'll be a 10-minute opening, followed by 5 minutes of like semi-interactive story, but that you don't really control. You're just saying like A to move forward.
That's why I kind of like Red Dead Redemption a little bit, because even through like the the parts where you don't think you're gonna do anything, they kind of just
a couple times,
just a few.
I like that you can do stuff. I don't like when you can do stuff but have no effect.
Yeah.
So like did you play to pass the epilogue too?
Yeah.
Okay. Did you get to the part where you find Dutch and them again?
No, yeah. Okay. I just barely.
So I'll wait a little bit more.
Home improvements.
But it reminds me of the one. Is that at the end? I don't remember who that one is, but it's like you basically have the option to like, do something or not do. Do you remember when you have the standoff? You have to jump out in the water.
Yeah.
You have the option to shoot all those motherfuckers.
Oh, really?
Except for you can't win.
Of course.
I've tried. You can kill every single motherfucker in front of you. I've done it several times, which I'm okay with.
I guess it's nice that they gave you the option just to say, hey, it's not even winnable. It's not winnable, bro.
It's one of those things. But then later, it's like, and I think that's the thing is like it's not winnable, but it's not winnable in such a way that like I wish you wouldn't have given me that option for the thing, because sometimes like, so for that one, like why I say that is it feels like you should be able to, like, because like I said, I've gotten through all the guys on the left, started on the right, and then like they shoot you once you're dead, and the same later you have another shot where it's like you should be able, and in other parts in the story you are able to just like blast people, just bang, and like I said, that was my other big, they said problem with the game. At no point in the game do I feel threatened. Like if you're stocked up on
when he's starting to feel sick. Because then I'm always have to constantly eating because my shit was.
I mean, but even then,
my Deadeye was always like.
It is, but even then, you just keep shit on you and you just boom fortified.
But that was the one I noticed was the
Deadeye, once you got sick,
Deadeye was the one that really.
That's really what mattered. Deadeye and health, stamina didn't seem to mean shit. Too much. What they should have done was made stamina.
On your horse.
Right.
And you would only run like. Few like maybe feet to do whatever you
little things, nothing big, but even beyond that, like there were definitely things.
But like
Endgame, Game of Thrones season 7, there's Leo cannot wait for Kingdom Hearts 3, Game of Thrones, and Endgame, yes. And then we're also in our Discord server, which is listed.
I guess you could have showed that trailer as well. But I'm pretty sure
I think we should at least take a thing. The other thing is Game of Thrones is one of those things that we cover, but it's not necessarily like in our view.
I wanted to watch it, but I never got into it because it's just it's so far into the season now. It's like,
my thing is same problem with Hunger Games. Like anytime there's a series where it's like a book, I have to read the book first.
Okay.
I don't know why. It's just like a pet peeve of mine that I have to do, and so like it has kept me.
Yeah.
No, he still hasn't finished all the books. Right? He's at least one more book. And that's the problem with that series. Even the season they're releasing now is not out on book, I believe. Yeah,
but it's
or whatever.
Supposed to end the season though.
I think. Oh, stop complaining. Well, Red Dead rocked. Red Dead was great, but people take all the good stuff and ignore all the bad shit under it.
Yeah, but any game has its.
It is, but then that's my thing.
But the thing is, like, was the good more than outweigh the bad?
And so, like, and I think that maybe that's on a preference thing, because like if you like cinematicness and thing, but like my cousin
gaming.
I mean, but even more than that, it's more about the visuals than the open. Because Skyrim is, even if you're counting like. There's a lot of interconnectedness, right? The connectedness between, like, finding people here and then later it matters. But there's games where there has way more world connectedness or open world stuff. Like, even, I'm trying to think of the one. But, like, some of the Witcher games do good stuff about that, where later your choices, I mean, all the Fables are like that. So, really, Red Dead came down to more of, like, a combination of aesthetics from the Old West Because that's really what it is a giant
And that's what I loved
homage.
about the first
Oh, yeah.
one was that it took you like if you really were a cowboy.
Exactly,
in the West.
and that's what it's
That's what
about.
I
Is a
wanted this to be
realism,
again,
and that's what
too.
I like about it. Is a realism simulator, basically.
Yeah.
In this, and so I was discussing it with my other cousin about the things because he watches Angry Joe. I don't know if you've seen any of Angry Joe's reviews, but he does reviews on different games and movies and shit, and he basically does angry rants or whatever.
Oh, he's one of those guys like the nerd blog. What's this? The
Yeah,
blog? I don't like
yeah.
that guy. I don't like him.
I haven't really checked out too much Angry Joe, but I tend to agree with him on some things and not on other things. So, like,
Yeah.
for instance, one of his big criticisms of Red Dead was the writing. Because writing through Red Dead is time-consuming like a motherfucker. And it is absolutely true. Trying to ride through Red Dead anywhere, if you're trying to get around, no bueno. Like,
you mean just getting around?
Right.
But
by
like,
horse. But it's real.
that's the thing. Like, that's what they were not trying.
Right,
They don't want
it's
you
a
to do
realism.
the fast track. That's why they only had that one section of the whole part was the
Mhm.
camp. They didn't want you to go from here to. I mean,
Right.
they had the station wagons.
And so that's a thing that's on both sides. So if it's for realism, right, then that's great. That's like super realistic. But as a gamer, that takes forever, bro. I've spent probably a good 1/3 of my entire Red Dead riding that fucking horse.
But I loved it though, because I just like
It's
would
nice,
like
right?
to. That's the thing.
And
I
then
like
we've
going
talked-
around and you find like just
Oh,
random
yeah.
bullshit.
And it's the
just,
world,
like,
right?
yeah,
It's the
that's
big world.
just,
Things happen. Like you'll go through. My favorite one is if you go through San Denis, and anyone who hasn't, just go through San Denis. There's these kids that make fun of you.
Yeah.
But
I've
if you
seen
chase
those
them,
Oh yeah, and
They
they
rob
set you
you.
up. Yeah, they set you up. I've seen that.
and
one.
then I kill the kids every time. But that's not the point. The point being that that's an interact thing. It doesn't happen every single time. Just sometimes, whenever randomly pops up. Now it has happened to me several times, so it's not that. And that's what I want to get on. Everything seems really big, but it really does follow that.
Yeah, there's a script.
I mean, even less than the script, which is fine, and it's expected because you're limited on what you can do for a game, right? You can only have so many responses for so many people, so many recorded dialogue lines for anything. Even granted, for how many how long and how big this game was, they'd better have a shit ton.
Yeah.
Because it was a huge download. That took like hours and hours to download this game.
But like I said, you can see that all the work paid off for them with because the world does seem very much alive to me.
It's there's definitely things that get me, but they're usually minor things.
Yeah.
And mostly control stuff.
That's the only thing I had my issues are with maybe just a few.
There's
like,
other
even
things.
like when I pressed to mount my horse, he'd like.
I'm telling you, it's
he'd
such
be
a
like-
weird like.
I'm like, bro, what are you doing?
It's like,
What are you
dude, if
doing?"
you were gonna get on a horse, you would get on a horse. You wouldn't be like. Actually, I mean, depending on if you haven't gotten on a horse in a while, you might not or whatever. But I'm just saying, like, I shouldn't like have such difficulty on like.
Or
Tracking.
just to hitch the horse too.
Right.
Sometimes if you're not like perfectly aligned the horse to hitch him,
Yeah.
you'll like kind of like get confused.
Or even on the right side, like you can be on the wrong side of the horse hitch, and that's so ridiculous because obviously you could hitch a
I
horse.
didn't know that too. That one day I was like, oh, you're supposed to do it on the other side. I'm like, why can't I just hitch him on
I
this
did
side?
it. It was at the camp, right? When you come up that one time, I hated that. I was like, I can't hitch him. What's going on here? Am I stupid? Hi, Nelly. Nice to see you. Long time. But it really was that thing of like, it just pulls you out of the immersion.
Yeah.
And that's what I didn't
those
like.
are only a few things, but like other than that, I still
It's a
I
good
love
game.
the story though.
Oh,
That's
the
one
story's.
thing. And I love that the guy
Except
got
for
the
the ending.
best. What was it? Best voice actor award.
For him, he
Arthur
deserved that.
Morgan?
Yeah, Arthur.
He was good.
He deserved that.
did,
It was a good story, especially considering it's a prequel.
Yeah, and I
Spoilers, but-
didn't. Until I finally got into it, I was like, oh, okay.
Well,
so-
it's because if you haven't played the original,
And
you
I
don't-
haven't played the original in such a while until I kind of got through more.
And-
Because I
and
didn't
it's
even know
funny
that
'cause
was
I
the
said-
original character, John.
Right.
And I started going through it more. I was like,
Oh,
oh, that's
he's
him.
John. Well, the other thing is, and he doesn't at first, but later in the epilogue, and I'm sure you've noticed, now he starts to look like
it
Arthur,
more, yeah.
for whatever reason. I mean, right. But that being my thing is, like, I like that. There was good, like, story flow, and like you said, having known that would have made it even better. Like, it would have made this story better.
Yeah.
Because as, like, coming through, you're just like, oh, what a dick. And, like, the epilogue makes it a little better, you know what I mean? But...
Yeah, and I was going through some videos again. I was like, oh, that Dutch was in the original one as well, and you have to take him out. Him and Bill Wilson and was Javier as well. All those guys you had to take out because you were working for the law. I haven't played in such a long time until I watched the
It's
videos
big.
again.
Well,
was
and like I
oh,
said,
yeah,
we keep. I always find it funny because they always refer to original, right? But Red
Yeah.
Dead not being the original, Red Dead Revolver being the original
Yeah.
technical.
But that one's completely not even the same.
I don't even think they're in the
iteration of
same canon,
no,
yeah.
they're-
But that's what no one
but
ever
even
thinks.
the gameplay.
Oh yeah,
that
no.
was-
It's remember, it's a zombie game.
Oh yeah, that's right.
It's a zombie shooter, which is the funny. Like I said, that's why it's so funny to me. So if you and technically, if you wanted to, you could think about Red Dead theoretically. I'm sure they're actually in separate universes, but this is my canon fan theory that it goes in reverse, and that you have this like, all right, you have Red Dead 2, then Red Dead with John, and then bam, you go to Red Dead Revolver, and it's like zombies and the apocalypse in the Old West.
Do a DLC zombie version?
Oh,
For
they'll
Red Dead 2?
have to. There's no way they can't. They did it for
The first one.
but because it's the original, it's a homage.
I'm
to
waiting
the
for the
thing.
DLC too. When do
Dude,
you think that will come out?
Have you
next
done
year?
the online stuff?
I haven't yet because I want to finish the story still.
It's the thing is, there's just not that much online right now because it's a beta.
It's a beta.
You get like I think there's like 4 missions, and I still haven't gotten a new one, even though I've gotten a little higher level. So now I'm just like, and other people are grinding through levels, and I just like I can't grind in this shit because you have to go and do the same GTA
Yeah, they said
shit.
they're changing the economy already. They should have already pushed the update yesterday.
They probably did. I haven't checked it out in
if
a
you
couple
wanna
days.
if you want to check it out now, I
But
think they
the
fixed it.
real problem for me on that one is, and it's something that I hope that they solve, and it's something that's interesting because like it'll make it so that more play is more enticing for several reasons. But I want them to use, because I haven't really checked it out too much personally. One, because I don't want to pay it, but I don't know how the bounty system works
there's
online.
microtransactions, right?
Well, I know that, but the bounty system on the law. So like in GTA, you have your stars or whatever. You lose your stars, you can pay your stars off. In Red Dead, you have to pay your bounty off at the
mail,
post, yeah. And it's not cheap, and if
it's expensive.
well,
in
you
online?
at least even in the raid one, I mean, granted, you get a decent amount of money.
I mean, yeah, one.
But if you think about it theoretically versus the cost of other things, your bounty could easily be as much as a gun or a horse or you know what I mean, depending on how.
Because most I've ever seen it ever go is like 150 or something.
Oh yeah, you haven't done any bad shit. Yeah, you did the good.
I was
track.
a good man.
Yeah, no,
I got even all like the sides honest story missions.
Oh, I did
done.
all those
I
too.
did all those ones got done.
I did all the honor sides. I did a couple things, but even still, like I did a bunch of bad shit. And well, I did one playthroughs. I also turned off autosave so I could do a bunch of shit without having to get fucked up. Well, once you lose a horse or two, you're just like, fuck this shit.
I only lost like one horse through the whole game.
Yeah, I lost the horse
It was not that hard, I think.
Like I said,
I think if you just weren't paying attention, then like, oh shit, my horse's health is pretty low. I should probably feed
it depends. The only time I ever
or I
lost
should
him
brush
was
him because his core even.
The only
goes
time I
quicker.
ever lost the horse was the end scene and then shootout. Like
yeah,
I
end
got
scene
in
was
shootouts.
only then I think I lost one too. Is a shootout.
Because you'd be sitting there and then they couldn't kill you, so they just shoot your horse to death, and I'd be like, my fucking horse.
Terrible.
So I think that happened once, and I was like, nah, I'm not paying no freaking horse. But it was also, like I said, so I could do stuff and see how the game reacted and go back and do, like, honorable and non-honorable things. Because that's the other thing I want to go back through and do the non-honorable run now. Because I did the honorable run. Now I got to do all the bad choices.
You can replay all the missions a lot. I didn't know. I was going to replay the Red Dead Redemption because I wanted to see what Arthur would do if he actually just went and stole the money instead of helping John.
Yeah, I wanted to see that too and see what happens, but... Gotta go back and look. Yeah, it's alright. I've had to do that on several games. I'm not afraid to do it on this one.
Well, I mean, so we have some other really important things, I guess. Huh? We have
there's
Avengers.
all kinds.
We have Smash Bros that just came out Friday.
Yep.
I can't play it yet because it's a Christmas present for my son.
Yep. My cousin got his and his Switch. I haven't got ours yet because I'm saving for a January vacation.
Oh, nice. I heard some really good things already for Smash Brothers.
I've heard good stuff. I've also heard there's been some changes. Small changes.
Already some DLC characters already coming out.
I heard the first challenging character is Jigglypuff.
Like to play?
To unlock.
To unlock,
yeah.
Okay.
Because you have to unlock characters in this one. Although there's a ton. There's like 70 characters.
To unlock?
Oh, yeah. Well, not unlockable, but like total.
Okay.
So you have like a total, and I don't know how many are unlocked. I'd have to go
That's
ask.
a lot, though.
But
That's a
but
lot
I
of
mean, it's pretty.
characters.
I mean, it is, but for fighting games nowadays, man, you get. I mean, not all fighting games, obviously. The new Mortal Kombat's and stuff.
It was like 20 what characters?
12 or even
No,
less. Some of them.
It was more than 12. I think
It was so few.
maybe
man.
like 17.
Maybe.
I'm
not including DLC.
The thing is, though, like I
though.
think Mortal Kombat does not need like that many characters to.
It doesn't necessarily have to, but I feel like those kind of arena games excel when they have more characters.
Well, like especially as Super Smash Bros, I can see for sure that like 70 character lineup is a good,
it's decent.
a lot
But
of
I always think of Dragon Ball Z Tenkaichi. Like the best ones usually end up being the ones where you have the most character selections. Although there's other ones that have
never
good
played
things.
those ones. I never enjoyed them.
I really like the fighting style ones. I love Mortal Kombat, Dragon Ball Z fighter
Well, the
stuff.
Tenkaichi ones, I never.
Oh, yeah, I
I was
liked
never a
all.
fan of those ones. I only
'Cause
liked
those were-
Kais. That's only except
Oh,
number
yeah.
two. Number two really threw me off when there
Yeah,
was
see-
the game board piece thing where you had to.
See,
yeah,
yeah.
that was weird.
See, I told you, yeah, and that's why I like the classic ones because they're all like either Mortal Kombat or Street Fighter. You don't have a 3D range. You don't have any of those. It's all 2D
Yeah, it's
fighters.
just 2D fight. That's all I
Right.
like. I just like my regular 2D fights.
Exactly. I love 2D fighters. I mean, it's okay. It's kind of okay when you can slightly move the 3D, or not the 3, but the
Just
horizontal
just-
plane.
Yeah.
That way you can like knock people into things or stuff. But I hated it once it became like this, like I could lose my opponent in the sky and like fucking he's behind me shooting key blasts at me. Like that's too real, man. It's too real for me. I can't handle it. And then I don't know. There was a couple other games like I said. Even the Dragon Ball Z Fighter went the route of like Marvel vs. Capcom or Street Fighter with more simplistic 2D rendered
Yeah.
action characters, which is fine because it opens up different like graphics stuff and other things you can do. And they also did the Japanese voice acting shit in there, and that was awesome.
I liked the Fighter Z.
Oh,
I just
yeah.
never bought it because the thing is I played the fighter game for maybe about 2 weeks and I'm like, all right, I'm done.
My thing
Over
is
it.
I play them to like just like every game. I play it, I beat it, I move on to the next one. Those ones I like.
I only like
some
to,
of them
I only
because
like to purchase games that are like going to be worth my investment for like a long
I feel like none of the games like because the truth being like all your games go out of style. Like when was the last time you pulled out your PlayStation just personally?
Oh no, I'm
played
just
a
saying
bunch?
for like longer term play vibe. Not like I'm saying like a 2-week play and then be like done.
Yeah.
I like a game that would keep me on for like a year or two and still keep me playing. Like Destiny still keeps me coming back.
Even like
I still
that one's rough.
I still come back and play.
it's
Every
such
once in a
the
while I
same
do-
shit, and even
I do
that was my
my-
problem is because Destiny was already basically a Warframe rip, and then they did a second. Like it was one for me. Like all right, especially nowadays, if you're not going to change something drastically from the first game to the second game, why not just do updates, add more expansions, even if they're not for like free or like a $5 one, because realistically, 2 examples like Diablo 3, right? Diablo 3 has been running since 2013.
It's been going to different consoles now. It's coming on Switch.
It's had like 2 expansions. That's it.
Mm.
That's it. And honestly, the last one was crap. They got like a Necromancer. And I don't count character expansions, but if you count that, then they had a character expansion in the Necromancer. But they had like a small isle for like 2 missions, and I'm just like, you guys either need to release a new game or add more content. Because at a certain point, you're like I said, you're just playing the same game with, like I said, either a new game or the same game with new updates.
Yeah. That's what Destiny does, though. With their new expansions every once
They
in a
do
while.
until Destiny
new-
3 comes
new
out, and then they'll do the.
exotics They have new exotics always come out, and
Yes,
new
they're
missions
doing
to do.
they're doing a medium between them, which is why I don't like it. Is that they're doing a medium between the consistent updates and then buy a new game.
Yeah.
Because they've already announced, I think they have like a limited number of Destiny 2 expansions coming,
Yeah,
and then they're not doing more.
They have, let's
Like
see,
2
they have
more?
all this. They have actually a couple more years. Or not a couple more years. They have to all next year, actually. So
Yeah, so that'll
Destiny
be
1 had a long run time. It has like at least 3 years.
yeah, that's not a long run
Maybe
time.
4 years. But like, I don't know, to me
That's
that
not a
was-
really long run time for games nowadays when you really think about it. most games. Like, think about CS:GO. I mean, for consoles being the only thing is that because consoles switch, but if you take other games like Minecraft, things that have been switching through, 3 years is not
Yeah.
any time at all before having to buy a brand new version of the game. And so Minecraft is another best example. I bought Minecraft in 2006 for $10. I still get regular updates of new shit they put in the game.
Yeah, they always do something. Not like
Yep. And they've released
graphics updates.
And Mojang has done shit since then, but they just consistently make money on Minecraft and skins and other shit. And so even though Minecraft itself is not a very expansive or good game, like,
I stopped playing years ago.
it's not even about that. There's nothing to play. Like, what do?
I know.
You build everything, you do all the missions, and it's like that in every game. There's very few games that you can play for an extended amount of time and not actually hit the cap. Even Destiny, if you play enough Destiny, you will hit the cap on all 3 classes, get the rarest stuff.
That's what I used to do, but I have no time.
And so,
takes a lot of time.
Right, and so that's my thing is like once you have time, it's really not that long of a game.
Especially some of the harder, like, secret exotic missions. Those ones are real fun to do.
Yeah.
But those ones you can only do with, like, skilled players.
But my thing about those ones is even when you do them, the weapons and stuff you get them aren't
they're pretty good. Yeah, my favorite one when they had Destiny 1 was they had the black spin. Oh, the black spindle was our favorite. You take that thing into the raid, and everyone had the black spindle because there was this one part where you had to take down the ogre, and you had to take him down with the most DPS, and the black spindle was the best one because you can not have to reload. You could just keep boom boom shooting, and it had a real strong DPS on it. So, I mean,
like I said, it's one of
I
those
was playing
things
Destiny for a long time. When I played number 1, I got really into it, and so like number 1 was fun. I remember.
Yeah, I don't know. I was like, they were both all right. Neither of them would make my top list of games. They were okay for me. I think it's one of those preference things. They felt like I said, I played Warframe though before Destiny.
I played Warframe first,
and it was it's such a rip. All of the movements from Destiny are straight out of Warframe. Half of the gun designs came from Warframe from the original one. I mean, it was, and yet still Warframe has a larger player base per number.
Yeah, I didn't really like Warframe too much when they first.
My thing about Warframe is the maps are too big for me.
Yeah, cause
I don't like running around.
Yeah, because when I first heard about it, it's because Xbox was even trying to push it on me because they gave it to me like, hey, try the.
Oh yeah, it's free.
Try the free beta when the first
came
out.
It's still free.
No, but when the first came out, because it was a beta first, and they're like, hey, try the.
Well,
beta.
that's just on Xbox. It was on PC for years before that.
That was probably then, and then Xbox.
Like I said, that was just the Xbox beta. That was.
No, yeah, that's where I tried it on. Yeah,
and that was I think they did the Xbox beta barely before Destiny even launched. They've had I don't even know when Warframe came out. Like 2010 or. Jeez. It's old. It's old, but it just continues to add.
Never even heard of it.
Like I said, it's like I said, it's somehow still has more player base than the games that copy it. Kind of, well, I guess not like. I was thinking of PUBG and Fortnite, but that's not true because Fortnite beat out H1Z1.
I mean, every game copies each other. I mean, there's not one game that's like
there's true, but there's games that innovate.
Unique.
So, for example, like Horde mode, you can trace Horde mode back to its original game.
No, those you can, but I'm just saying like after that, there's copycats upon copycats.
Yeah, but that's true. But like I said, you can usually trace most of them back to where you have a source material. Now, everything is inspired by something else. Like, you'll have a game that's a mix of this and that.
Mm-hmm.
And that's like Fortnite even. Fortnite, like, yeah, it's a Battle Royale game, but that's really not just a Battle Royale game. It's a Battle Royale game and...
crafting.
Yeah, Minecraft or kind of.
I just call crafting games because they're all considered.
They're technically sandbox games, is what they're supposed to be.
That's
but
what Destiny as well is too. Is a sandbox game.
I wouldn't call that a sandbox.
That's what they call their game.
They should not call that a sandbox game
because they're always updating it. And they're always
that's
changing.
Not what a sandbox game means.
They're always changing the world and the environment and adding.
Yeah, that's not what a sandbox game is. Sandbox game, you go look it up. But sandbox games like Terraria, Minecraft, that you can create and destroy the environment. So they're just using that term wrong if they've called it that. Like developers and coders use sandbox like that, but I've never heard of a gamer use them.
Developers.
Yeah, I've never heard of gamers use that. And gamers games have never been used like that. If it's a sandbox game, it's...
No, that's what the developers say when they're saying they're updating their sandbox.
I'm sure it is, but that's definitely not what they say in the gaming community.
No, I wasn't saying the game, I was talking about the developers.
Yeah. Because that's definitely not what I would call a sandbox game. You'll definitely confuse people if you put that out on any video. Because that's, like I said, if you look it up, sandbox game, Minecraft, Terraria, what's that one? Stardew Valley? Is that what it's called? Heard of it. It's a silly little Stardew Valley. Unless something, yeah, one of these games where you place and make your own environment and shit. Although they come in a lot of different forms. Jesus Christ, I did not know this one looked that shitty. Thank God I did not join my... Well, it's got a 10 out of 10 on Steam and a 4.5 on Apple, so...
Just depends on... Everyone has their preferences on what
That's
they like.
true. That looks
Not everyone's
such
gonna
a
like
shit
all
game.
the same games everyone else likes.
That's very true. Although, once again, I will point out the thing, especially in consumerism. 4.6 billion people like soccer, and I don't. My opinion don't really matter too much.
Nope.
So that's, and like I said, for this one, if it's 10 out of 10, that means that anybody who gave a fuck enough to voted it for good enough. So I gotta take that as an overall good game.
Mm-hmm.
Although, no, I mean, usually there's very few games I feel like have like gotten the axe and not deserved it when people trash them, like the recent Tomb Raider games.
I don't like the first one. The other ones after that were just like, I just want to see what the story is about, and that was it.
I don't know, all the stories were pretty trash, although the original one was a pretty decent story.
Yeah, that's what I like. Besides the newest one they did, yeah. And that's the only reason I would ever play probably the other ones is just to kind of finish it.
Which is funny because those games are all about the...
They probably don't finish the story, right?
Oh no, it's not even about that. But the games are about traps and like solving.
Oh, more puzzles.
Like puzzles, but it's like
So they made two more after that one,
puzzles
right?
and stuff. Yeah. So it was like underwater passage kind of shit. Like it's. Let's see if I can find some Tomb Raider play. Because I remember playing it on the PlayStation. But it was like a dungeoning adventure, you know what I mean? You did have fighting, I think. But...
Oh, are you talking about like original Tomb Raider?
Oh, yeah. Jesus Christ. Games have come a long way. This is actually used to be high-tech. Remember that?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so you would have... Oh, this is a really easy part. I remember the underwater parts being the hard parts. Yeah. You know. Look at that texturing. Look at it. Holy shit, they had guns? I'm actually surprised. I just think about how long and how much work they would have taken to make this back in the day. And then how easy it is to make nowadays.
Yeah, it took them a long time because it did the...
Well, because they used to have to, like, block and write the code. This was before, like, nowadays they have fucking, 3D modeling software. And
that does it for them.
Yeah.
That was the high-tech of polygon shapes.
Yep. I mean, of the day. Reminds me of 007 shit.
Yeah. Oh, gosh.
Yeah. You've apparently like the R2. I liked the R2 or Red Dead Redemption 2 story. I don't know. I liked it. OG Tomb Raider. It's like I like the story. It's just it ends the way it has to go into Red Dead.
Yeah, no, that's fine with me.
Yeah.
And it did the same
it
thing
was,
with Red
I don't know.
Dead,
There was other things about the writing of the story. A lot of the places that were pacing wise with me, like the whole the joke of the meme is like, do you think Dutch has a plan? You're just staring off into nothingness, nowhere with no answer. It's like, tell me, did Dutch really have a plan?
Yeah, no, those are part. I don't think he really did. Just
of course
the
not.
The story
dude.
was just playing out to say that.
I know.
He was just going crazy.
I don't know. There were just things, and I liked it because I felt like all the characters' responses were in the right places. You know what I mean? Everyone acted the way they should. Except there were a couple parts, like so when, like Micah shoots what's her face in the camp.
Oh, Miss Grimm, whatever.
Yeah, yeah. When he shoots her, that was where I'm like, all right, he just shot her out of nowhere. With like, come on now,
he's
Dutch.
Ruthless. He don't give a fuck. I expect no better from Micah. I just like.
Well, Micah, I expect, but Dutch.
Oh, that's who it was.
It was Micah who shot her, but Dutch is right there, and I'm like, this is person. Yeah, he doesn't do shit. He's like, this is part of your puzzle. He's like, and he just shot her.
Yeah.
Right in front of him. He was like, come on, this is like basic.
But at that point, then that's when you have to know that some
was off, right? Yeah. I don't know. That was like why I like the John and Arthur too, because Sadie was the one who's like, well, people, change, and maybe he didn't, and they're like, or maybe this is how he was all along.
Yeah, those are good. I liked all that. That was good storytelling.
It was good.
On that part too.
I liked it. It was good stuff. Jonathan, thanks. Miss Grimshaw, that's her name. I'm sorry, I don't spend enough time in the camp, so I don't know anyone's name in the camp.
Yeah, see, that's what Leo says. They were corrupt at that point. I was like, yeah, at that point, like. It wasn't even that he's corrupt, like I said, it was just Dutch lost a screw in his head.
Yeah, they revealed the whole time Dutch didn't give a fuck. Yeah.
And he kept saying it too, like Arthur kept saying, he's like, yeah, I don't know what was wrong with him, something happened to him.
Yeah, and then John though is just like, nah.
And then after
has been that way.
And then after Hosea too died.
I think that's when he was like,
for sure he was just like, oh,
I think there was a couple. I think it was when he really like. I mean, he noticed before, right? But like, the real straw was when John left John behind.
That's when you knew something was wrong. At that point.
Well, and then John shows up and you're like, shit, son,
he's alive. I was like, I knew he was coming.
John's like that one, and you knew he was because of original Red Dead.
You didn't play the first one, yeah.
But which is like I said, that's the nice surprise too. If you didn't, then you get to go through it and go back. Oh, John was gonna live the whole time. I had no idea. He's like the motherfucker who can't die.
With his eye getting messed up.
Oh yeah, everything.
The beginning.
Oh yeah,
he got shot.
And then they disappeared. Like
Didn't he get shot before that again too?
Some shit. Yeah, he had gotten shot in the Blackwater incidents too, or some shit, and then beat up by wolves. And then that's like your first part is saving his ass from wolves. I thought that was funny.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, he did get eaten by the wolves, or not eaten, but what the wolves are going to give him.
He's like, we're gonna need to think of a better story than eaten by wolves.
Yeah, he said that revealed that the whole time Dutch just didn't give a fuck.
Yeah, I think it did. I think they finally realized that he's just a con man. You know what I mean? He did whatever to get what he needed.
He wanted. Yeah.
Yeah. We just say whatever to get
like
what
you
he
said.
needed.
Like maybe that's who he always was in the beginning, anyways.
Yeah. And maybe he changed. Who knows? Maybe he just got.
It's kind of, I guess, on your way how you wanna perceive the story.
Yep. Nobody knows but Dutch. Does he have a plant? Oh man, have you seen the one with the bicycle and the stick? And it's him and it's the bicycle and stick falls over. Goddamn O'Driscolls.
Oh. He said he being John.
He's a magnet for unlucky circumstances. Yeah, John is my thing. One of the things that pisses me off is in the epilogue when he's trying to do right and what's her face leaves.
Oh yeah,
I was all pissy.
But the thing is, she kept telling him, he's like, don't be fucking heroic or anything. And he's like, I ain't being heroic. I just do what needs to be done. Like,
I'm getting my money.
Bro, you being a little heroic a little bit. You being just
He was getting money, son. He was getting some money.
Should just left them motherfuckers alone. Let them deal with that business.
Getting paid, bitch.
But yeah, she's getting pissed.
I was just like, God damn, fuck it then. I'll go back to robbing banks. Jesus. That's all that went through my mind. He being John. Me too, yo. I don't know, I just hate it. It's like, I'm trying to do good here. Yeah. Full of negativity, Marsha.
Full of negativity. Getting on my back for nothing.
Oh, man.
They were going to burn our house down.
They're going to burn the house down, Marsha. They're killing people. What was I going to do? Sit here and wait for them to burn us down and kill us too? That reminds me of, see that, alright, so that's the other one of Joy. No, it's Joy. Is Joy? It's either Joy or Joyce Meacham from fucking Iron Fist. She's just such. It's one of those situations where it's like she's like, I'm mad at you. And it's like, for protecting you, you dumb bitch? What are you mad at? You lied to save your life and my own? Yeah. They were gonna kill me. Hashtag no
like,
joke.
Just let John be a hero.
Just let John be a hero.
Crazy.
He's a hero. No, but that did good. I thought it was, like I said, I still believe that's at least a 9 out of 10. I can't give it a 10 out of 10 when I can't hop on my horse without having an aneurysm.
I'd probably say it's a 9 out of 10 too. Like I said,
even a 9.5. But that horse aneurysm
because like I can't even say that bad for God of War like had that many really glitches.
No, because it did have stuff. I've been
was...
playing and there's times where like the one that gets me in every fucking fighting game in the goddamn world has this now is you'll have your enemy going through his predetermined motions and he'll track to you like on a fucking, you know what I mean, like as if he's instantly locked and then moves out of his fucking motion. But I feel like that's every fighting game now has that happen sometimes where you're just like over here and his character model's just like, okay, I found you. Just like, fuck you, man. That happened, but yeah, I don't know. In the Red Dead there was things like, just minor things like I said, I shouldn't have so much trouble hopping on my damn horse.
And I think the one thing too I didn't like was like, you had to pull your weapons out of your horse all the time.
That was, like I said, there's levels. There's levels of realism, right? Like where there's real and then sometimes too real. And then, like
yeah.
And then there's balances. So like I think one of the most balanced things in the game is looting. I think that is like a perfect balance between realism and gameplay.
Yeah.
Because realistically, if you were to try to loot somebody's whole body, that could take forever. Like, just depending on the person, like, who knows how many pockets or whatever. Like, if you're just checking one pocket or whatever, then yeah, maybe it'll take a couple seconds like it does in the thing. But that's, like, best case scenario. Mm-hmm. It's only going to take a second. And sometimes you have to, like, flip him over and check him, or sometimes...
Yeah, he always flips him over to check the front, and then... Yep. I guess the other one, too, is the skinning takes so long. Sometimes.
It does, but that's
and again,
relative. Right.
Realism, but I'm like, oh my gosh, bro, this had to take this long.
It does. It takes so long. But like I said, relatively speaking, right?
Or I wish they could like
balance.
You know, like I wish
you could skip it.
Yeah, that's it.
I wish you had
at that option. At that point, you're like, okay, bro, I know.
I know it's real.
I know
you did a good job. Let me
just skip it now.
I think they do need to add some skipping options, and for a couple things, like not just for that. Like I said, riding. I love riding. I hate when I have to ride from Saint Denis to fucking Valentine.
That's why I just try to take the stagecoach all the time. When I was Arthur and I had a lot of money. But now I can't do that.
Yeah, you will. Don't worry.
But the epilogue, we're still kind of just doing all that. I've done all the side missions, so I'm just trailing right through the
And it's really mission. Doesn't, like, I'm still not, I don't think I'm quite done, but I'm waiting for a mission to pop up, so I'm just, and then online came out, and then I've been distracted by God of War, so. I'm all over the place. I still have to go back and beat the next Spider-Man DLC that's coming out here in the next couple days.
It already came out.
Did it?
Yeah, it's been out since like October, I think.
No. They're doing several. Oh, they're doing.
So the Black Cat one.
Yeah, there's Black Cat. Then there's another 2, I think.
They're quick then on that.
It's one every month.
I think that's too.
The thing is,
because then you're at that point. I think then you're gonna run. Well, I don't know. Maybe they're not really wanting to be such a long.
I don't think they are,
and they just want to release a couple. And
because, like I said, there's options to being a game. One, you franchise.
Yeah.
You just keep releasing games, and every game you change. There's either a change in gameplay or a development in story. So, for a best example is God of War. God of War before 3 does not have much gameplay development necessarily. You do get new stuff like new weapons, and that was one of the best parts about it, is new weapons, fighting, blah, blah, blah. But realistically, it's more about the story, right? Kratos moves... I would actually love to go back and play the old ones just to go back again and remember all the story, how it was done, because I only remember it slightly, fighting for Athena and then against Athena and then yada yada.
Mm-hmm.
And then you have the option of, like... And usually this is harder on consoles, but you have the option of a continuous game like Minecraft, where you just keep updating and adding new shit, and just it works. Sometimes, somehow, it works.
Yeah.
And there's different levels. You got pay and free to plays on both sides of that. You know what I mean? Usually sequels are in the realm of pay for whatever
Yeah,
reason.
I would never. I've never seen a sequel where you.
Um,
Well, maybe
there's a couple, but they're usually paid because that's why you release a sequel, right?
Yeah.
Or else they'd still be
trying
playing
to make
one.
money at that point.
Yep.
Trying to recash on what you've already gotten on.
Or maybe just sometimes advance, and that's why I say like you can tell a good sequel from a bad sequel depending on the changes, the improvements. If you're just trying to cash in, yeah, you won't change anything. You won't add new really good story or put too much thought and time into it, and you'll end up with something like, Halo 5.
I had no problems with it. I mean, well, I had a few problems with
I was like about to say.
It wasn't like... I wouldn't say like, oh, I hated it so bad.
I didn't hate it. It just was lazy for a Halo.
I just didn't like that they kind of took the focus away from Master Chief,
right?
Which is who we kind of invested all our time into now.
He's who's the face of the series.
And like, it would have been okay if we did a few missions of the other character, but at then one point you kind of made it where it was like, it was all about them, and like they were trying to stop Master Chief. I'm like, bro, I don't even know what the fuck's happening with Master Chief. Why is this happening to him right now?
Like, what's going on? Tell me about Master Chief. Fuck these guys. No, and that's what my thing was. Is I felt like that story writing and game design was a little lazy. Like for a Halo game. Now, granted, I've had the bar high set since Halo.
I mean, I like the gameplay. I did like gameplay. It was fun. It's just, like I said, story-wise and everything.
And I've come to expect that from Halo, right? Because Halo doesn't necessarily develop its gameplay throughout.
I mean,
little
tweaks, but there's like not much you can like do an overhaul.
You could do stuff. You could always. I mean, look at God of War. You could overhaul the whole system.
Yeah, but that was a risk.
They did, but they did a good job too. Don't get me wrong. The other thing is, even though it was an overhaul, it's still very. It feels a lot like other God of War games.
Oh yeah,
the plays
it
and
does.
stuff. Even though it's entirely different system of combat and stuff, it still feels so similar.
And then playing in that third person.
Yeah,
view,
as opposed
instead of being like kind of on.
Yeah, it was like
a
on top
of each other.
Yeah, it was like a top-down third, which was weird.
And yeah, it was like because you could see more of like your
3D area, which by the way, that is a huge thing in 3. Like, I get so fucked by that third perspective sometimes. Not even from being behind me, but from my character blocking a character running at me on this side or something. It fucks me over. But not enough that that bothers me. That's just one of the many small complaints.
That Fortnite is a continuous that just keeps going. I mean, I was going to say that one too because
it takes forever.
They just came out with a new season, right?
Yep. And they plant that's and here's the thing, people forget that Fortnite is not just Battle Royale. Fortnite has Save the World, which is actually the part of Fortnite that is up for Game Awards, not Battle Royale. Fortnite Save the World, I've seen my brother play, is like an interactive zombie shooter, building tower defense.
I don't think I've seen that one because I was in beta version for the longest time.
It's just like 7 Days to Die or there's several other games where they're just never coming out of beta. Who is it? 7 Days
came out of beta. Finally.
But who is it? 7 Days to Die still fucking alpha.
Oh really?
It's still listed as an alpha, and it sells millions of copies.
It's weird.
Yeah.
Weird. Why would you want to play a broken game? I mean, granted, I guess it's whatever. You want to play what you want to play, but whatever.
I know. And it's like a $20 game, man. It's not like cheap.
I think that's too much.
It's a pretty good game.
An alpha,
it's
whatever.
The thing is that they call it an alpha, but it doesn't really.
It's more
like a beta. It's basically a beta. I don't know why they call it an alpha. It's obviously
same thing they did for like Ark when Ark came out on Xbox. Yeah. For the longest time, it was in
which
beta,
is
and
cool.
I think they just finally got out.
To be fair, Ark's a lot more complicated than.
I wanted to play it, but then I was like, is this another game that I want to invest
it's another
all my time?
Yeah, that's the thing.
Like a Minecraft kind of thing. Yeah,
it's one of those things, and that's why like I said, that's why God of War is killing me right now because like you said, like we talked last time, like I enjoy the challenge. I really do. I enjoy the challenge of the fight and like barely getting away with the health or whatever. But now it's crimping my style because I really like the story, and that's what I'm here for the God of War. Like, the gameplay is amazing, don't get me wrong.
But
the story is outstanding, right? And that's what gets me, and that's why I think God of War deserved it in many aspects, was, like, yes, it doesn't have the open world interactive feel, but it does have the
open world, though.
It does.
A little bit. I mean, that's what I liked about it.
It's more
it
wasn't
linear,
right,
as the other ones were.
But what I mean more to say for that is like, it's not like a kind of go do what you want, or something that you would expect that if I go here, I'm gonna have like a specific interaction.
Oh, like that.
But you do.
You could do a few things like that. You could find more other shit to do. But like I see what you mean. Yeah, like it's not like Red Dead where you go over here and you find a stranger. And
right.
Like, the stranger's
but what it does have is a lot of world building, right? The candor, the lore, and stuff from the north. And it really does build a world as opposed to Red Dead's world, which is kind of like sitting
just alive and you're just watching it.
Right, as it interacts, right. And so, like, I don't know, there was a lot. Like, the dialogue and stuff, I think, is, like, extremely well written.
The characters are good.
And so, like, even though, for example, I enjoy the play, like, out of everything, like, every game has, like, Spider-Man, for me, had the best playability. I enjoyed
I need to finish it.
Yeah. But, even though I liked the story, I thought it was a good story. Sad. But good story. I didn't think it was the best story. I probably thought that either God of War or Red Dead, probably more Red Dead, had a better story. Like, it was a good story, but it was kind of expected. It was a little off from some of the things because it's more modeled after Ultimate Universe Spider-Man.
Oh, were they doing that?
I think so, yeah. Because you can even see the Rhino.
Spider-Man.
It might be
just doing their own.
I think they have their own universe, but it's slightly modeled after.
Because he's considered now part of the Marvel universe.
Yeah.
Have you ever reading Spider-Geddon?
Yeah.
If you read issue 0,
he's in that one.
That's where he comes from.
Yep. And so it's interesting, like, how they have it there. But so I liked it, but for that was just the way it was. You know what I mean? I didn't. As far as like visuals, by far Red Dead. There's just not another game that's as visually, aesthetically appealing and pleasing.
Just so good. I mean, God of War was good as well, but
I noticed it during one of the cut fights where he's like ripping out the gatekeeper's heart, and he gets blood all over it. It looks so shitty. Like, just that one cutscene, like, the way the blood spatter is not, like, linear and how it moves on him. Like, you can see that during that specific scene of rendering, they did not give a fuck. Now, I'm sure that's because of a combination of, like, real status versus story effects where, like, alright, you have this armor on, so it shows that you have this armor on in this cutscene, right? And then the blood has to be smeared on that in a fucking textile or whatever. We know enough about game design that we know at least the basics of how they're doing the rendering and graphics and textures, etc.
Yeah, Red Dead was nice too, just because even like scenes where if you kill a deer or anything, you just put it on the back of your horse, and I know it's little subtle details like that where
blood
like,
would
you'd
be
see
there,
on the horses, or you would see it on your
shoulder. Yep, if you had been carrying a body.
It looked really good. And...
Oh yeah, I mean, even in other things like the miniature, like the reactiveness of like, all right, if I shoot somebody in the head a couple times, their head will explode, like, and they're dead. Like that. Same with I couldn't make the horse's head explode, but. Besides that, there's like stuff like that, right? Like if I do this, I will see real interactions. If I do this, the NPCs notice, right? People notice I have a mask on and they get edgy.
Oh yeah, they get all edgy.
And then they'll report you for disturbing.
Yeah, just wearing.
Just for wearing a mask. It's like can't even wear a mask. There's been a couple.
Nothing here without getting. I thought this is the West.
This is wild. And I think that was the cool part of our Red Dead 2. It was exploring that fact that the West the West is dead. I think that's also something they don't consider, but Red Dead Redemption, the West died a long time ago.
Yeah, because then now that I remember, because I was watching some videos again. There was cars in Red Dead Redemption. Mm-hmm. First one, you were riding in cars.
Because at that time there were.
Yeah.
It was 90s or something.
No, because I want to say this is 1990 because.
Or not.
Because I remember it was like 1888. When all the other shit happened.
Let's see. I want to check
the
timeline.
And then after that, it was like a few years after Arthur died. So I'm like, I want to say it's like 1990.
Let's go look at the timelines. So, oh god.
Or 1900. That's what I want to say.
Yeah, it probably is, and that's definitely around the time where the first cars would have been. Oh, this is not giving me the info I'm looking for. Okay. Red Dead takes place in the year 1911 during the decline of the American Old West and the Mexican Revolution. A spiritual successor to Red Dead Revolver follows John Marston, former outlaw who sets out to hunt his former gang members. Yep.
So 1911 is when they're saying
Red Dead for that Redemption. One, and then Red Dead 2 is 1899.
1899? Okay, so yeah, I knew it like around that time, yep. Okay, that seems about right.
I just love, too, that you got Red Dead Revolver set in the 1880s, follows bounty hunter Red Harlow as he uncovers the plot that killed his parents and exacts revenge.
Which has nothing to do with any of the other stories.
No, it does not tie it in at all, I don't think.
I remember when Red Dead Revolver came out for Xbox and I seen that cover. With the guy with his mouth all open and he has the gun. Well, I mean, other than that, then we've been talking about games a lot. What else? We had our Avengers. What did you think about the trailer? I never asked you.
Oh, yeah, we didn't talk about it because we've been talking about the games. It's a rough one, man. That's... should we watch it? Just get a fresh one?
Yeah, we can put it back on.
Just throw it on. I feel like that's we also had a pretty short... Because a minute and a half is not a really big teaser intro.
Oh, I thought it was a teaser, and then I looked at it again. I was like, no, they said it was the official trailer.
Good, yeah.
Because even on Marvel's, they're even calling it the official trailer.
I guess it is. This one's 2.5. I was talking about the Kingdom Hearts one.
Oh, that one, yeah. That was just... So they even said, that was just a sneak peek of the opening.
Yep, we knew it was going to be fun.
Assholes.
But yeah, it's cool. I like it. I like the idea. I feel like we kind of knew Endgame was coming. People talked about it a lot.
On. Hey, Miss Potts. If you find this recording, don't feel bad about this. Part of the journey is the end. Just for the record, being adrift in space with zero promise of rescue is more fun than it sounds. Food and water ran out 4 days ago. Oxygen will run out tomorrow morning. That'll be it. When I drift off, I will dream about you. It's always you.
Yep. I love the former Thanos inclusion.
Thanos did exactly what he said he was going to do. He wiped out 50% of all living creatures.
We lost. All of us.
We
lost friends. We lost family.
It just doesn't feel as impactful. I like the
We
Ronin.
lost part of ourselves.
We lost the family.
This is the fight of our
He
lives.
definitely looks like he's grieving.
Yeah.
This is good work, Steve.
They were saying that that's why.
I know it is.
I'm pretty sure it's...
Because I don't know what I'm going to do if it
I
doesn't.
mean, we know why Ant-Man comes back, obviously. My guess is they had some set to bring him out, like a safety precaution. They're smart enough to build that.
Yeah.
But then, I don't know, like you said, this part's still coming.
Hi, is anyone home? This is Scott Lang. We met a few years ago at the airport in Germany. I got really big.
Is this an old message?
Ant-Man, I know you know that.
It's the front door.
That's me. Can you buzz me in?
Fucking Paul Rudd.
I'm so glad they have April again. Same day, huh? 26th?
Yeah.
Isn't that the same?
No, I don't think it was. No, maybe it is actually.
After months of waiting and endless speculation.
Months of waiting.
Months of waiting. Endless speculation.
Just endless speculation of endless waiting.
All the waiting and endless speculation. I love it, man. Cap got the star in the armor. Yeah, the armor hanging up is great. The old man, or the Farmer Thanos tribute is gonna go good with comic fans. I guarantee it. That's just... Yeah. I feel like a lot of the secret to making comic movies is that making your own story and then tributing...
Yeah, I love Easter eggs.
Yep. I swear, man. That's all it takes, and if DC would figure it out,
Yeah, because if I really think about it, they don't really do the same thing.
No
though.
Easter eggs, bro.
It's just kind of just telling
All
the
of
story.
their
and
all
that's
of their
it.
Easter eggs are Snyder hidden messages instead of Easter eggs, and that's why they're shit. It's like no, but seriously, like I feel like
I love Ant-Man.
I do,
yeah.
I'm so excited
I'm
for
glad
that.
for that.
I like the last
A lot of
Ant-Man
people
too.
always say like, "I don't like the Ant-Man movies." Like, bro,
How do you not like Ant-Man?
I'm like, bro,
I
how
feel
can
like
you not
Ant-Man
like
is such a
Ant-Man?
family movie. I feel like the people who don't like Ant-Man are single
I think
losers.
they think the name Ant-Man. They just like
I
total loser. At
Like
that
I'm
point.
100% that's like within there, and they're like that guy's a loser, and they themselves are single with no kids, and I'm just like, cause like I can't imagine being like a parent, or B someone who likes kid movies and like not enjoying Ant-Man because it's structured basically like a Disney's kid movie. Let's be honest here, with like slight tinges of adult humors mixed in for the adults. You know what I mean? Like, two, like someone was telling me like this and that. Two only did this. I was like, are you kidding me? Ant-Man 2 or Ant-Man and the Wasp was one of the best movies of the year.
That was good too. That was another one. Too,
like even though the story, this and had problems, like the pure comedy gold of Paul Rudd.
so
Let's
good.
just not even discuss. And they're like, well, why does it have to be? Why can't it be funny? Why does it not have to be funny? Why does it have to be serious and depressing? I never get that. It's like it's too funny. Okay.
It's too funny.
It's too funny. Never. Yeah. All right. All right. Yeah. But I'm just saying seriously. So true! Exclamations. I wish people would say, because like literally, and then above. So one of the things about Ant-Man and the Wasp that got me like above the comedy and above the, the lessons that they implant in the story without like making the story about it and like push them forward through actions and talking. Those are really like important things. All right, so like there's a couple things people point out, like they're like, all right, you might say this and this about Scott, but think about the fact that while he was on home arrest, he designed an entire maze out of his house and cardboard boxes with his trophy as a prize just for his daughter.
Yeah.
Like, that's a lot of effort and time to be spent, and obviously it's important to him, he doesn't see her, but that's not something small, later, one of the other parts, like when she's talking to him and she's like, well, I could be your sidekick. Mm-hmm. And he laughs and she's like, well, don't laugh at me. You know what I mean? That's such a real moment, you know what I mean? Because for her, that's her dream, and like it's a very small but important thing that people miss out on, are those little like lessons and things done outside. I don't know. Whereas, like, a lot of things don't have that. They don't have those, like...
No family man.
Like, I mean, even just not the family man, but just, like, those basic life things anymore that were included in. Like, and you figure things like Superman and Batman would include those in to, like, the integral fiber. Instead, it's like, why save the world if I don't have to? I don't need to save the world. The world doesn't love me, so... who cares? Like, that super angsty Superman. No. That's been done. Kingdom Come Superman. No.
What about the new Superman that you seen from J.J. Abrams called was it called Brightburn? Have you seen that?
Oh, yeah, I saw. Is that Abrams?
It's Abrams movie.
Someone was telling me it was fucking Gunn.
Oh, maybe it's Gunn.
Maybe it's James Gunn.
Maybe it was Gunn. You know what?
Which I'm happy for him. I'm glad. I think he'll do
Gunn.
really good on a version of a darker Superman. Someone was telling me.
It's,
I saw a meme about it because it was.
Superman but it's
no,
like,
it's basically a Superman. I saw that.
As soon as you see it, you're like, oh, okay.
We could throw that one on too.
What's
Maybe as our last one. Yeah, it's Brightburn. Here, we'll throw on one more trailer and hope not to get kicked off the air.
Yeah, you're right, James Gunn. You're right.
Which is awesome. I think
it's
pretty easy. Yeah, they've done a lot of similar stuff. Honestly, their cinematography is not too different, except for J.J. Abrams likes his lens flare a lot. But yeah, honestly, I'm super happy for him. I think it's gonna be a really good movie for his concept. Like, he does a really good job at taking darker.
Scary at the end. Like,
exactly.
At the very beginning, it's like, okay, this is like,
and then it's like
kind of fucked up. This is a little fucked up, and then at the very end, oh shit, that homie's.
So this is actually a pretty decent trailer too. We're gonna transition over and watch some Brightburn. You guys we're gonna kill our audio for a minute. So.
Whatever you've done, I know there is good inside you. a gift. I know it's been difficult for you lately that you feel different from other kids. You are different. After your dad and I got married, we prayed for a baby for so long. One night, someone listened. Brandon? You are special. We believe that you came here for a reason. He was in the barn.
Did he find it?
No. It was like he was drawn to it.
He may look like us. He's not like us.
If
Okay,
not,
well, oh well.
we
It
weren't
happens.
talking.
We weren't talking.
We weren't
just
talking,
miming.
everyone.
We were miming to
Hopefully
each
you
other.
can read lips.
You can do it. It's good. But
I mean, so yeah, Mortal Kombat was just a big surprise to me.
I thought,
It
yeah,
just
I wasn't
randomly
expecting
came out
it,
of
and
nowhere.
then I saw it, and I was like, but yeah.
And then Guillermo del Toro's making his Pinocchio movie, animated.
Really?
Animated for Netflix.
Let's see that. There's a couple things.
That might be. I think that's some
Oh.
concept art.
Wow. Okay, that's gonna be definitely a different kind
That's
of
Guillermo
Pinocchio.
del Toro, though, for you. I'm for
He
sure.
definitely does interesting, unique takes, man. I will give him that. Like I've some stuff I like, some stuff I hate, but he does
Celebrity
unique stuff.
Deathmatch.
That's gonna, like I said, everything, dude. 1 week nothing, the next week absolutely everything.
And
Like,
then I guess another big thing too is Shang-Chi, right? Is that-
Shang-Chi, that was right. See,
that's
like I said, there's no
gonna
list.
get his
There's,
movie.
there's no end to the list of things. I swear, this like the last couple days, not even this week, just the last 3 days since Friday. There's just been so much shit.
to talk
See, this
about.
is the other one. So I always forget. This is the other reason I like the One Punch Man as a hero. I don't know if you've seen this. It won't let me do the zoom. You son of a bitch!
Doesn't like your Zoom.
That's because I haven't downloaded it, and it wants me to save it.
Ew.
Gross.
And then we still got to wait a little bit longer for Spider-Man, guys. The trailer's been
Pushback.
delayed.
To be fair, I'd rather wait until it was good.
What did you think about the new Captain Marvel trailer?
One thing I
Did
like,
it show you more
they
of what you wanted to see?
yes and no. I'm still just not that hyped. I just can't get hyped.
I'm pretty hyped for it.
I don't know. I think I need
I
to go
think,
read
like,
the manga.
Did you not like
comic.
the end of the trailer? Like when she came out badass, is like whooping ass in space and everything
She
with
was
her
cool.
binary power
Maybe
turned
I
on
need
and
to watch
everything.
again. Maybe I gotta watch it again with more intent. But I don't know. I felt like it was a lot of like. I don't know. It doesn't help that I'm not a big fan of her character in the first place.
Oh, really?
Because of
but
like
I-
Civil War 2.
but
Well,
I
I mean,
think I
in
read
general,
that-
she's kind of a
I
bitch.
read that Captain Marvel miniseries. That's what I told you.
I think the new.
Her a little bit
I
more.
think I think I need to read the new miniseries to get hyped up because, one, before that miniseries, she's portrayed as kind of a bitch.
And they're using that origin story. I heard.
That'll be
in
cool. That's what's gonna
miniseries.
and that's what's gonna be interesting is they redid the origin story for her because
Yeah, 'cause
before
she got her powers from the Kree,
kept-
but now it's saying that she was never like that. She's actually a half-breed
Kree that got and so that's which I'm not at all mad at. I'm okay with retcons.
I like
that
it
makes
better
sense.
that way, honestly.
It makes maybe not makes more sense, but
well, to me, I think it makes more sense because it makes more sense to her being so, I guess, powerful and a big heavy hitter.
I guess
instead
so.
of it just being
The problem is her
given
heavy
to her.
hitter status is like half and half. She's sometimes like
yeah.
powerful enough to do like
Yeah.
this and that, and then
Because
sometimes
to me, like
she just
you
gets
think
her
like
ass
she
kicked.
can absorb energy and you think she can do a lot like that.
Right,
and
but it's
then-
only certain kinds of energy and like, cause like she's not Vulcan levels of like bullshittery, which even he was.
new Ghost in the Shell anime coming to Netflix.
Well, it's probably to make up for the movie they made. No, like
I didn't have such a big deal with it.
it wasn't bad.
It was literally the anime movie or the anime movie.
I think
they
the
did.
problem with that one was actually the issue we talked about before, where they didn't change enough.
Yeah.
It was so much like the original, and then I like just I don't know. I felt
It's,
like a lot of
hard
the
to do
animation,
anime adaptations. So, like I said, do you want to stay true to the content,
right? Or do you want to stay
you wanna
true
do
to
your
the-
own thing?
Right, and I mean even in do your own thing, but like sometimes you have to stay true to content, and sometimes you have to stay true to the feel. We've talked about the difference between a movie and a series, or even a TV weekly release and a Netflix release.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? They have different feels, and they need to be different. That's why the Netflix series are only 13 episodes long, and why Netflix had such a big problem is because DC does like 26 because they're doing a TV release. Well, Marvel only does 13, and because of that, even though they have higher quality cinematography in like every single aspect, I mean like every single aspect, I feel like the cinematography on the Marvel shows
This is good.
Yeah.
I like. Yeah, it's honestly, to tell you the truth, it's like better than cable TV
Most of the time.
Most of the
I think it is, but they talked about the heavy price tag that was going along with those
yeah,
shows.
they do put it. Yeah, they put in a lot of money to their shows. Like
Well,
they don't mess around. Like
No, and I think
and I
that's
guess
the thing.
just because they don't have to pay. I don't know. I guess just because it's not on cable TV that they have more leisure on their side.
They do. They have.
And since they own their Netflix,
There's a lot of
and they don't
things,
have
yeah.
to comply to all these other networks.
Mm-hmm.
And,
There was a lot of reasons, and I could see the reasons before or not, but it was just one of the ones where I'm like, the thing that pissed me off is the post someone made. They're like, I'll never forgive Netflix's ass for canceling Futurama and like this other show, but keeping Friends for $100 million
oh yeah,
a
I seen
year.
that one.
I was like,
But they're only keeping it for one more year, and then they said they're done with it.
which is fine. My thing is Friends. I could kind of see having it on there, but it's Friends for me is something that if you liked Friends, you'd already have the complete series at home. You know what I'm saying?
I mean, I like Seinfeld, but I don't
like, all right, How I Met Your Mother is the show that should have replaced Friends on Netflix. You know what I mean? That should have like pushed out, and then the next show that should do that, I'm not sure because I don't keep up. But there's another show that should soon push out How I Met Your Mother for that same spot of like sitcom-y, general, you know what I mean, life kind of shit. I don't know what the big one is right now. There was a couple ones going around like Modern Family and Blackish and.
I liked Modern Family.
They're
Did
pretty
you like
good.
That? Or
I like
no, F for Family is the one I'm thinking.
Oh,
of.
I haven't checked that out. Is that pretty good?
I liked it.
I couldn't get it. Like I think I watched the first episode where he gets the TV or whatever.
I like that it's Bill Burr. And I like Bill Burr for some reason. I
think I think that helps a lot of the times when you know someone in the series. Although sometimes it doesn't. I did finally finish the second season of Big Mouth.
Oh, I watched that shit like straight through.
I
couldn't stop watching.
I
It
did.
was just
I
so
did
good.
when I started it, but I couldn't start it for several reasons. One being I used to watch it with my girlfriend a lot.
Oh, okay.
And so it was just like a little awkward. I was like, oh man, I gotta go back and watch this whole season. Fuck it. It was just worth it. Thick and the warm.
Thick in the warm. Oh my god.
I just want to make a meme like that. Just thick in the warm.
That was terrible.
It was so
he's like,
bad.
Are you talking about oh my, just the
Yeah, no, that whole fucking episode.
He's like, I got to make thick in the warm, and I'm like, oh my gosh, I can't believe he's oh my, yeah, that's terrible.
Wait, you
and
got
then his
laid,
hormone
Steve?
monster was just all degraded and old and
Oh yeah, fuck. You the man, Steve.
yeah, you couldn't even understand him.
He's like, I don't know what that means, but sounds good to me, Steve.
Oh my god.
What now? Well, now I'm retiring. Yeah, you don't need me no more, Steve.
Oh, he just left him.
And then you get the new guy.
Yeah.
I'm Tyler. Fucking that guy made me laugh. I can't. I recognize the voice, but I can't place it to the actor.
Ooh, the
new one, yeah, Tyler, the
Oh.
apprentice hormone monster.
I just know that Nick Carell's in there, and I like.
Oh,
his
he's in a
character.
bunch of.
I like him.
Yeah,
and
he
then,
voices a bunch of the
Kill
characters.
Peele is. You can't even really tell that's his voice.
It depends who. The one who Keith
His
does.
best friend, right?
No, he doesn't voice
I
him.
can't. Are you sure?
He's the only
I thought
one
that was
Key
him with the red
voices.
orange hair.
Nope.
Who's he voiced then? I could have sworn that was him.
Key voices the Black Ghost.
Oh, he
Yeah,
does? Oh,
that's
that
who he
is
voiced.
him.
I said at first you're like, who's it? It's him. He's the other guys are a little more tricky. I will not lie. I swore to God, like literally, that the hormone monster was Will Arnett. It's not Will Arnett. It's fucking what's his name?
It kind of sounds like Will Arnett, but
I
don't know.
I thought it was him for the fucking longest. Like, cause I'm pretty decent at doing it, and it's very close to another one he does. But I wanted to find voiced by, but it's not really helping me there. Voice actor.
And also, too, so for Avengers Endgame, where did they get that title from? They just made up their own title, huh? I'm surprised they did not take a title from a comic.
Yeah, they said that it was going to be Nick Kroll. That's
what I thought it was, is Nick Kroll.
Yep.
I like him.
He does good, but
what-
that was one of the only times I've ever been thrown off by a voice is the hormone monster.
was in
Everybody
that,
else I can pinpoint.
He was in that one movie I just watched, Uncle Drew.
I don't think I've seen.
You would like it if you watch Uncle Drew. It's just a really cool movie.
But yeah, there's all kinds of stuff
But,
that came out.
I mean, so other than that, I guess we could probably end the show and just be
Yeah.
excited for Mary Poppins, Spider-Man.
Everything coming out.
What else? Aquaman, and I feel like there's one. Oh, Bumblebee. So we have 4 movies coming out this month.
Yep. Bumblebee's gonna be what I'm really hoping for.
I
I've
heard
seen good
reviews
reviews.
already,
Yeah.
so that's good.
All right, but we'll let you guys go. Thanks for checking in with us and stopping by. We'll see you next week.
Have a good one.